have you ever had like one of your heroes say something that you're just like, oh, okay, I need to work harder on that, you know? And it is like, you know, Willie's like my hero. When he said that, immediately it's like, okay, so we you know, it makes you want to work harder. Okay, I got to write a better song or something. I know because in the back of his mind, he's like, not quite sure about the integrity of what they're doing yet. You know, I mean, maybe he didn't mean that, but I think our insecurities obviously make us go there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sure you're exactly the same as you will find the one person in the 30,000 that's just doing this and spend the entire night on that person. And it turns out the guy, like, smashed his car on the way to the thing. That's what he's worried about. It had nothing to do with the show.
And it's funny you say that because that's usually the guy that Ronnie and I talk about when we walk off stage.
Right.
You know, did you see that guy in the fifth row in the red shirt who had his hands crossed across his chest the whole night and stared us down?
Yeah.
Never could get him.
Yeah. I used to call them the reluctant boyfriends, and what I meant by that was they're the guys that are like whose girlfriend was like, hey, we want to go and see Urban, and he's like, ugh, okay. And you can tell he's been dragged to the show, and my mission is to have him on his feet by the end of the night. So, you know. But,
you know, I've also noticed like well, it really struck me because I had, even being from North Louisiana, I'm kind of East Texas. I hadn't really been to like Abilene and whatever.
Right.
So the first times we played there, it was very much a ranch mentality, for lack of a better. It's like those guys that just, they don't, you know, I know they have fun around the bonfire, but it shows and stuff where certain parts of the West Coast, you know, they're going to get up there, jump all over the place. They just show it everywhere, you know. They're very conservative about the way they react a lot of times. And I'll never forget coming off stage and going, man, I really felt like that's about as good as we play. You know, I mean, we had a good night. And then we got the merch numbers, and they were over the top.
Wow.
And I remember running over to Ronnie's bus and going, hey, check this out. And it's like, oh, that's how they are.
Yeah.
That's how they are because really, for a guy that works on a ranch or a farm or something like that, to think enough of you to want to wear your T-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big commitment. You know, I mean, again, the same story there.
That's right.
You know, so.
And also, they didn't leave.
They didn't leave, at least not till the end.
You know, the audience's attitude is like, hey, we stayed till the last song. What more do you want us to do to show you how much we love you?
but it's funny. People around the country, they're different. Man, America's a big place.
Yeah.
Now, you come from a big place, but you've kind of got, I guess, Perth on one side and then Sydney, Melbourne,
and
Brisbane,
all the rest on
sort
the other,
of.
Yeah, and everyone's clinging to the edge.
Yeah.
And nothing in the middle. Well, there is, but you know what I'm saying. There's no major cities.
You travel international, though. Something Ronnie and I never did. We were old when we started, so to think of going and seeding Europe, you know,
yeah.
It's all we can do to get back and forth across America.
That's true. That's right. Yeah.
And we never thought our career was going to last.
You guys went to
more
Oz?
than a
You
year.
played down there?
To Australia, yeah.
Absolutely.
Which in Canada.
Yeah.
You know, and
wow, international. You went on the World Lee Tour.
We went up and down. We went up and way down. Mm-hmm. But you know, Rob Potts, God rest his soul, convinced us that we could do it in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he made us do it.
Yeah.
He really did.
Well, your spirit is right for there.
It was
That's
so
what it
good,
is.
too. But you traveled, where, besides, I just read 4 continents somewhere. So besides America, Australia, does New Zealand count? Is that one of your
I've only played there
continents?
once, and Carrie Underwood and I went down there and toured last
Auckland?
year. We played in Wellington, actually. Yeah, which I'd never been to before to play ever. I mean, I'm born in New Zealand, but had never toured there ever.
Well, can you really tour there? I mean, I had a great run there this year. A friend of ours has a house in Queenstown.
Oh, right, yeah.
So Barbara and I, we saw as much as we could. we just put all our money into a helicopter, and
Yeah.
we didn't spend much time driving, but we did a lot of island hopping.
That's a
and
gorgeous country.
frick, it was amazing.
Yeah,
we had so much
Middle
fun.
Earth.
It
You
is.
fly into the Auckland airport, because it's where they film those movies, and I couldn't believe you flying
The
to Auckland
Ring
airport.
movies.
And then, the Lord of the Ring, and
Ring.
then like the whole Auckland airport just says "Welcome to Middle Earth." I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not sure how the Maori feel about that, but anyway.
Have you noticed? So have you played places like where they just don't speak English and stuff?
Not yet, no. But we're hoping to get over to a lot of the Asian countries next year, late next year, hopefully. I'd like to get to a lot of this. We haven't been over there and played. We have done Europe many years ago, but that's been a long time too, like Germany and Scotland, Ireland, and all through the UK.
So I mean this not in the wrong way, but in the most sincere way. What makes you think, because we all do our homework before we go somewhere, that Asia is an audience for you?
Just there's a feeling that, for me personally, that the kind of music that we play, there's a melodicism, strong melodicism in what we do, that I think these songs
Oh, I have no doubt that
resonate like that.
those that are there will love you. How do you go about promoting a tour? How do you get people to your Keith Urban show, and where are you going?
I'll let you know. See how that pans out. It's just a thought. It's a thought because particularly a place like Singapore and Indonesia and a lot of those places that are kind of neighbours of ours in Australia, not that far away. It's just places I've always wanted to tour. And then, of course, China, Japan, all through there. Yeah.
So I noticed the other day I was checking out Billy Gibbons. He's playing in some subway in England
Really?
somewhere. Oh yeah, he's got some little boombox thing set up,
Right.
and whatever, and he's down there banging on his guitar. He's got some loop going. He's jamming away.
Where was that at?
It was somewhere in London or something.
That's
He was
awesome.
in. I think it was in England. I know.
Right. Yeah, that's
But
cool.
I think about you. So you're out there with Nikki. You got it. Do you go clubbing? Even when we toured together, we screwed up a lot of great house bands. Just jumping,
Yes, we
in
did.
there. Hey, can I
Yes,
borrow
we
that
did.
guitar for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
But do
That
you
was
do
still
that?
one of the most fun tours ever. for
It
me.
was, man.
The
We
Neon
had
Circus
fun.
tour, first year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had fun.
Oh, yeah.
But do you ever do that? Do you ever go sit in places like in Japan and whatever? Is there a
No, that hasn't happened because most of those trips are so quick.
Yeah.
You're there a night, maybe two at the most. The last time I think I sat in was a few years ago. We were down sort of Key West way, St. John or somewhere around there. We were at St. Bart's, and Jimmy Buffett was there.
Huh?
And I ended up sitting in with him for a couple of songs, as you do.
So he was doing a concert or something.
There was a little club that he was going to. It's a bit of a long story, but
Yeah.
he and his wife had their boat there, and they were just on the island for a couple of days, and we ran into them somehow because we were just visiting, and he's like, "Hey, we're going to go and see this band play. You want to come with us?" So we went with them, and then they called Jimmy up to do a song. So he got up, did a couple of songs. The next minute, he gets me up to do a few songs, and it was cool.
There's some great bars down there. I fear we've lost a lot of my haints. I
Yeah,
told Barb
I
we
bet.
gotta just rent a sailboat this year. I just want to go see what's left, what's there. And I had Kenny in here recently, and I asked him if he was going to rebuild, and he was really apprehensive.
Was his place leveled?
Yeah, pretty much.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Oh, that's
that's what he
crazy.
said. He said, all my friends, he goes, down there, you're either in the restaurant business, you're in the tourism business, you're in the bar business,
Yep.
and there's a handful of locals, but pretty much, all my friends that I've gotten to know and everything, he said they've all kind of sort of like New Orleans after Katrina. It's like everybody left, and it's rebuilt, but like he said, this isn't something that's gonna be back in probably a year.
No,
or two.
no. Yeah.
This is going to take a long
Yeah.
time to. But most of those places that I hung out anyway didn't seem like they were very well structured.
No.
It's not like, I don't think if you can get the lumber down there, it's not going to
that's
take
right.
too long to.
I'm not sure how strict the codes are down there. They'll be a lot more strict now, I think.
You think?
I think so because you if you're going to put in the time in building something
Yeah.
like that, you know what you got, what you're up against, Yeah, I think it's worth it on the front end, right?
I was looking at a house the other day. They said that the foundation was 38 feet deep.
Dang.
And I'm like, wow. I know. So, congrats on Blue Ain't Your Color
Thank
at
you.
the CMAs.
Thanks, Kix.
And I thought about you. I was sitting next to Barbara when that little pull you do on your electric guitar on that chink on the intro. I said, God, that is so freaking good. And you own those songs like that. You know, I think you have your fun factor, your hot rodding up tempo songs that you just smoke on, but those kind of songs obviously are real special for you. And having done enough award shows, you know, I don't know if you feel this way, but for Ronnie and I always felt like when we were out there, there's that point in the song when you either go, okay, this is laying there. You know, I mean, we're getting through it. It's good. Everybody's happy. But then every now and then you have those performances where for what you just know it connects and people are on their feet or whatever. And, you know, this is one of them. Yeah, it worked. For female, it worked in spades, obviously. It was an emotional and great night. Was there a moment when you started singing that song, a brand new song that not many people have heard, where you felt, ooh, this is good?
Yeah, the writers, Shane McAnally and Ross Copperman and Nicole Galen, wrote it on October 10, and I heard it the next day, October 11. And Ross Copperman had done a great demo of the song. Shane McAnally sang it. Nicole Galen singing all the female backing parts of the song. So it was the three of them, and they sent me. I got sent the track, and I listened to it, and I sort of had an immediate reaction to the song, and I went and grabbed my acoustic and started playing along with it. And I thought, gosh, this feels like this fits me really, really well. And I called Ross and said, can you send me the track without the vocals on it? I'll go down into my studio and sing on it to see if it goes to the next step, if it feels right. And I was actually it was right before my birthday, and we were going out of town for my birthday. So my plan was, I'll throw a quick vocal on the song, on Ross's track. I'll take it with me on vacation, and I'll really get the song into my heart and know it really, really well. Then we'll come back to the studio and we'll work on it. And the next thing I knew, I was down in the studio singing on it, and as I was singing on it, I thought, this feels really right. Something else is going on with this song. This feels righter than right. And I finished it, and I sent it to my manager, and he's like, I think you need to do that song in the CMA. We had another song to do on the CMAs. And he goes, I think we should do this one. This is the one we need to do. And I was like, well, we need to record it. We need to do, I'm going away. And he's like, it's most of the way there. So we just, I called Dan Huff and Ross Copman and said, when can the three of us get in the studio? And they said, October 31st is the first day we're all available. I went, well, let's book it. And I had the three of us in my home studio on October 31st, and we fleshed out the rest of the record that day, and we mixed it the day after that and mastered it on the weekend, and then boom, it was CMA week. Crazy.
What about that moment on stage, though? I mean, when you're looking at the crowd and you're singing that song.
I really, and you know this from performing yourself, there's a time when you don't really know a song very well. And I'm just trying to stay in the zone of the song. So I was pretty oblivious to everything that was going on in front of me. There's a lot of words in the song too.
Yeah.
And I don't know the song that well yet. So it's a live show. So there's a lot of compartmentalizing.
Well, there was a lot of and oh man and stuff going on all around me. You know, it meant a lot. How about The Fighter, man? I love that freaking melody and that song.
Thank you.
And I told these guys here, you know, as that song was moving up the chart, I said, that song is really growing on me. And it's also not that I never didn't like it. It's like, oh, that's cool. That's
right.
But it's one of those songs. The more I heard it, I went, ooh, that's really infectious. I love this thing.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I think, did I read somewhere where maybe you grabbed Carrie early on that, or you thought that would be great, or you wanted to write something good for her? Or how did that happen?
I wrote that song with Busby, great songwriter. And you know this is, as a songwriter, sometimes those days happen when a song just comes to you. You're like, it's pretty much all there. And you just fill in a few little blanks. And I was driving to the studio to work with Busby on another song that we'd started the day before. And that whole chorus just like, this was like all there. And I rushed in like, hi, morning. Yeah, quickly. Can you throw down this chord progression? So Busby throws down a quick chord progression and I sang the chorus over the top. And I said to Busby, can you go, what if I fall? And then I'll sing this bit and then you go, what if I cry? So I have a demo of Busby singing all those falsetto parts that were going to be filled in by Carrie later. But boom, banged it out, quick placeholder things. And the song was done. And then we went back to working on our other great song, which I think never saw the light of day.
In the trash.
Yeah, exactly. You know the drill.
I do.
And the goofy little silly thing that happened in the Uber ride, we just discarded that, And but it sat around for the next month or so, and I'm like, man, we've got to find a girl for that song. Who do you think's right? And then we both sort of said, Carrie. Carrie would be right for that song. So we sent it to her, and luckily, she loved it, and off it went. And we never went in and re-recorded anything. Everything that's on that is the demo, basically. Yeah, include I think pretty much all of my vocal.
Yeah. You've got a badass body of work now. You've been doing it
Likewise.
a long time, a lot of hits. But is there, when you're going through the night, I know you should change it up some, but when you're going through the night and the set list is rolling along, is there one that it's time for this one that always makes you smile? I love playing this.
Oh, somebody like you.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, that song I feel immense gratitude for the spirit of it, the heart of it, how universal it feels, how timeless it feels, how it means something to me different each tour. I know you've got songs like that too. They're like a book that you've read many times, but each time you read it, it means something a little bit different. And the words haven't changed at all, but it's a different book.
Great.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
Always
in,
good to talk with you, Kix. It always ends too soon.
It's fun, I know.
Yeah.
Good catching up, though.